All right. Good morning, my peeps. Happy Friday. We have made it to the end of our week. Yes, I'm in my onesie, and that's quite simply because I'm comfy and I want to stay in my onesie, so I'm going to do it. Today, we're going to be doing a lot of breath work, and I'm also going to be doing some different variations to some of the stuff that I typically do. So, going with the flow is gonna kind of be how we go with it today. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on your mat with 2 fists in between both of your feet. You're gonna bring your shoulders all the way back, coming into your breath. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Bringing your arms overhead and then falling forward. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, hands down to your hips. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fall to the floor. Inhale, up, arms overhead. Exhale, down to the thighs. Inhale, overhead. And fall hard. Inhale, up. Hands down to your thighs. 2 more. Inhale, up. Fall hard. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands down. Last time, inhale, up. Forward fold. Bring your arms overhead. Exhale them down to your thighs. Inhale them overhead. Bring the palms together and down through heart center. Inhale up to tree. And just feel that energy wakening into your mat, grounding into the earth beneath you. With your next exhale, bring those palms together, forward folding from the hips, and bringing yourself all the way down. Forward folding here, letting the hamstrings soften, adjusting your heels, allowing your shoulders to melt out of their sockets. Just using that breath and allowing everything to soften. With your next inhale, come to nice halfway lift, nice long back, nice long neck. Exhale, forward fold down to the mat, bending into your knees slightly and inhaling your arms up and overhead. Exhale them down to your thighs. Inhale overhead, down through heart center, forward folding from the hips, hands all the way down to the floor. Cycling through these legs, bending one, straightening the other. Taking one more breath here and then coming back to center. Inhaling, bringing those arms to halfway lift. Exhale all the way down, bending into those knees, arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands down to your thighs. Inhale, arms up overhead, down through heart center, forward folding, bringing yourself forward. Now you can either keep your arms dangling nice and heavy. You can cross your arms into your elbows and just shift your body from side to side. Allow the hips to now become the main focus, the back of the glutes. Again, still keeping a slight bend in those knees so that we're not hyperextending. With your next breath, let your arms go down. Inhale to nice halfway lift. Exhale all the way down, forward folding. Inhale, bending into your knees and bringing your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale up to tree and ground yourself again. Feel that energy. Feel the flush of the warmth of the blood as it rushes through your body. With your next exhale, letting your hands fall down to your thighs. Inhaling your arms up overhead. Exhaling down through heart center. Forward fold all the way to your mat and bring yourself down to all fours. Stepping your feet back, bringing your knees down to your mat. Hands right underneath your shoulders. Sinking your butt back to your heels and coming into your first child's pose. Knees can be close together or wide apart. Once your butt has touched the heels, working yourself down.
allowing your forehead to come down to the mat or to wherever it rests for yourself. Releasing the tension in the back of the body, focusing on bringing your forehead down while not lifting your butt off of your heels. 2 more breaths here. With your next inhale, bringing yourself forward over your hands, tucking your toes and coming into our first downward dog. Pushing back into those heels, butt stays nice and high in the sky. With your next inhale, shifting your weight forward over your hands into high plank. Exhale down to the floor. Inhale to your baby cobra. Exhaling down, tucking your toes and pushing yourself all the way back to downward dog. Cycle through it, bending one knee, straightening the other. With your next inhale, coming back to center, inhaling forward, exhaling down. Inhale to baby cobra or your version of up dog. Exhale all the way down, tucking your toes, pushing your butt back into the sky. Cycle through those legs. Coming into our warrior flow. Inhaling forward, exhaling down. Inhale to your baby cobra or your upward dog. Exhaling down, tucking those toes. We're going to start with our right leg, sending that right leg back behind you, inhaling that foot all the way through, instantly dropping that left foot back behind you so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Inhaling your arms straight out in front of you, taking your gaze over your front fingers, squeezing those shoulder blades together, nice tall body. With your next inhale, coming up into your reverse, nice long back leg. With your exhale, coming forward into your warrior 2, sitting there for a breath. And with your exhale, coming forward into your warrior side lunge. Inhaling that left arm all the way up, overhead, nice straight line from the tip of your fingers all the way down to the bottom of your heel. With your exhale, dropping that hand down and inhaling your right arm back up into your warrior 2. Inhale into your reverse. Exhale down to your warrior 2. This time straightening the front leg, pushing your weight back into that rear hip, and bringing yourself over into your side triangle pose, sitting there for 2 breaths. With your next inhale, coming all the way up, bending into that front knee, sink into your warrior 2. Windmilling both hands all the way down to the floor, walking that right foot or stepping that right foot back, come into your downward dog, cycle through it. Going through a vinyasa before we balance on the other side. Inhaling your weight over your hands, exhaling down. Inhale to baby cobra or your up dog. Exhaling down, tucking your toes, pushing your butt into the sky. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Opposite leg goes into the sky, then bringing it through. Planting that foot down on the mat. Inhaling your arms all the way up. Coming straight into warrior 2. That back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. With your next inhale, bring that front arm up, going into your reverse. And with your exhale, bringing yourself all the way down to that front elbow. Inhaling the opposite hand, up and overhead. Nice tall body from fingertip all the way down to the heel. With your exhale, dropping that right hand down. Inhaling both arms up, coming into your warrior 2, looking straight over those fingertips. With your inhale, coming up into your reverse. Really stretching out that inside of the hip flexor. And with your exhale, coming all the way down, straightening that front leg, pushing your weight back into your hips, coming into your side triangle, taking your gaze over to the side or up towards the ceiling. With your next inhale, bringing those arms back up into warrior 2, sitting here nice and strong. With your next exhale, bringing both arms, windmilling them down towards the mat, stepping or walking that left foot back, coming into your downward dog. Cycle through those legs. With your next inhale, shifting your weight forward over your hands, exhaling down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra or your full upward dog. Exhaling down to the mat, tucking your toes and pushing your butt back into the sky. With your inhale, kick that right leg back behind you. Inhale and bring that foot down to the mat, letting your left knee fall down. Coming into your low split stance. Your left leg is going to be extended straight back behind you with a nice upright body. You can choose to keep your toes tucked, or you can allow them to melt down into the floor. With an inhale, taking both arms up and overhead, squeezing those shoulders away from your ears, activating that core. With a nice big inhale, exhale and push into those hips, sink a little bit lower. Good. With your next inhale, we're gonna go ahead and come up to our low lunge, really pushing through that back heel, really stretching that rear leg, letting the hip flexors get everything we can. Whenever your body tells you to, you can come down back to the mat. We're gonna stay here for 2 more breaths. With your exhale, bringing that knee down, bringing your hands to the mat, sweeping that right leg all the way back behind you. Tucking your toes, pushing your butt back sky high. With an inhale, coming forward, exhaling down through your vinyasa, inhaling baby cobra, up dog. Exhale down, tucking your toes, pushing your butt into the sky. Opposite leg this time. Send that left leg back behind you. Inhale that leg all the way through, stepping forward. Bring your right knee down to the mat. Again, you can choose to keep your toes tucked or lying them flat on the mat. With your inhale, taking your arms up and overhead. One side will always feel different than the other, allowing your front hip flexor to become soft. Focusing your breath on that spot. With your next inhale, if you'd like, you can go ahead and push yourself up to our low lunge here, really driving through that rear heel, getting everything we can out of that front hip flexor, dialing that knee out. With your next exhale, go ahead and bring yourself down to the mat, exhaling those hands down, and then sweeping or stepping that left foot all the way back. Exhale, push your butt up into the sky, cycle through those legs. With your next inhale, shifting your weight forward, exhaling down, inhale to your upward dog, exhale all the way down, tucking your toes, downward dog. Now we're gonna go into grandfather dog, which basically is shifting your weight from side to side, allowing your IT bands and your calves to really come into this one here. When you're done with this, come into your variation of wide child's pose. Bringing your knees down to the mat, either taking them to mat width or slightly wider. Big toes are connecting. Sit your butt down to your heels first. Take a nice deep inhale for strength, and then exhale down to the mat. Sitting here for 4 effervescent breaths, acknowledging any and all of the chatter that's going on in between the ears, and with the exhale, letting it go. Yoga for me really is about joining the body and the mind through the breath practice, and I hope that you guys feel and receive those benefits. With your next inhale, slowly bringing yourself back up to the top, working your knees in together, and then rolling over onto your butt, extending your legs straight out in front of you, grounding your sit bones, which means remove that fleshy part from underneath them, really setting yourself up with a nice firm foundation, bringing your hands onto your knees, your thighs or your shins, nice tall back. With an exhale, just soften forward, let those hands slide down the shins. This is our warm-up here. I want you to focus on the lower back, so I want you to inhale and bring those shoulders back together, push that chest through, pull your toes back towards your face. Exhale, feel that lower belt back line come into play. Keep everything going here. We're gonna go into our full forward fold after 3 more breaths, allowing that lower back, the tight spots in the hamstrings, maybe even your middle to upper back, really soften here. With your next inhale, coming all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, completely release the tension. Just let your body melt. Don't hold any stress. Don't worry about your thoughts. Acknowledge them and send them away with the exhale. Allow your body to come back into charge, back into focus, being completely present with each inhale and each exhale. Taking 2 more breaths here. With your next inhale, slowly bringing yourself up to the top, extending those arms back behind you and bringing the foot soles onto the mat. You're gonna drop your knees to either side. Try and keep your sit bones on the floor still. Allow the IT bands and the actual hip flexors to get the benefits here. You're gonna drop both knees open towards the side, pulling the foot soles in towards each other. We're gonna start with our tortoise. So you're gonna bring your elbows in towards your knees, pulling your shoulders back, hands down to your ankles, beginner's tortoise. Now, if you know where this pose is going, please go ahead and make that progression. If you're following me, please bring those shoulders back, chest forward, nice and proud. Inhale for height, and exhale, chest to heels. Inhale for height, exhale, chest to heels. Last one, inhale, exhale, chest to heels. Wrapping your hands around your toes, letting your elbows fall to the inside. Inhale for strength, exhale, chest to heels. Trying to keep that lower back in the forefront of your mind as you exhale and soften. 2 more breaths here before we attempt the full forward tortoise pose. Last breath. Now you can choose to either stay where you are, or you can softly let your feet slide out about 4 to 6 inches away from you. You're gonna take your hands, insert them in between your shins, underneath, lying them down on the mat, and then bringing yourself all the way forward. Dropping your head, allowing your crown to fall off. Just relaxing your body and letting your shoulders melt apart. Really coming into the passive portion of today's practice. Allowing your body to continuously soften. Enjoying 3 more breaths here. With your next inhale, you're slowly going to go ahead and unwrap those arms, bringing yourself all the way up, bringing those arms back behind you, foot soles are onto your mat, knees come back into the sky. Let's drop them from side to side. Try and keep your sit bones on the floor though, stay grounded. When you're ready, you can bring yourself all the way forward, extending those legs straight out in front of you, going into our wide single-sided side fold. Bringing your right leg all the way out to the side, folding your left leg in towards the inside of that thigh. You're gonna take your right hand and slide it down the inside of that right leg. You're gonna go ahead and take your left arm and inhale it all the way up and overhead, coming into that lovely side forward fold. Making sure that you're not folding your heart forward towards the mat. Actually, you want to do the opposite, opening that heart forward, twisting open to the front-facing view, allowing that side body, the obliques, the serratus anterior, your intercostals, the armpit, and the lat to all stretch here, keeping that arm overhead. Now, if you are feeling this within your lower back, your quadratus lumborum is probably screaming at you a little bit. I'd recommend getting a massage or seeing a chiropractor, actually getting some assistance with that. If you feel like you just need the stretch in a little bit of a different spot, I want you to drop your left hand forward, which will actually be bringing your heart towards the floor, and then focusing your energy on your eyes connecting with your kneecap. Staying in whichever variation you'd like to for 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, you're slowly going to assist yourself back up. Go ahead, push yourself, it's all okay. Extending that left leg straight out in front of you, bringing the right leg back in and giving them a shake. Setting yourself up for the opposite side. Left leg out towards the left. Right leg, bring the foot sole in towards the left thigh. Inhaling and exhaling your left arm down the inside of the left leg. Inhaling that right arm all the way up and overhead. Ooh. Now one side is always different than the other. Acknowledge that in this moment, and with the exhale, let that go. One side is dominant, one side is non-dominant, and you're recognizing that. The body is not a well-balanced machine. We have strengths and weaknesses within our mind, and that is also reflected within our physical body. Try not to hold yourself to what you completed yesterday, and not setting too many expectations for tomorrow. Just focusing on the here and the now. Now, if you'd like to make that progression and fold forward slightly, dropping your heart towards your knee and focusing on bringing your eyes towards your kneecap, You can do that, or you can stay in your open side pose. 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, please assist yourself all the way back up. Extending that right leg out in front of you, bring that left leg back in. Give both legs a little love shake. Good. We're gonna go into our quad stretch and our hip flexors. Whichever leg is more tender or more tight for yourself, please go ahead and work that foot back behind you. Trying to keep the knees in line with each other. You're gonna go ahead and exhale and let yourself soften back onto that opposite elbow. So if my right leg is back behind me, I'm propping myself up on my left elbow and vice versa. Trying to keep both shoulders back, chest is pointing forward, chin is up towards the ceiling. You may be able to bring yourself down to the floor. If you can, please do so. If you can't, listen to your body. Utilize the wisdom within your inhale and your exhale. Connect your mind and your body through the practice of our breath. Enjoy 2 more breaths here. With your next inhale, slowly bringing yourself back up to the top, extending that leg out in front of you and giving it a shake. When you're ready, you can switch over to the opposite foot. Again, one side is different than the other. Probably feels much different, and that's totally okay. Acknowledging that and letting it go. Coming back into your breath. Back onto your mat. Stay with that. Enjoying 2 more breaths here. With your next inhale, slowly coming forward, extending that leg straight out in front of you and giving them both a shake. Coming into our last stretch before we end our practice. Inhaling your arms up and overhead, nice long back. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. Just utilizing that breath. I want you to possibly acknowledge how your body feels at the end of our practice today, whereas compared to the first standing forward fold. Are your hands further down your shin, closer towards your ankle, past your shoelaces, or your hands actually working down the bottom of your feet now? Just being mindful, recognizing the benefits of stretching and yoga, of focusing on your breath and joining the mental processes with the physical processes of the human body. With your next inhale, exhale and let go. Bringing your feet in together and sitting yourself up for a resting easy pose. However you find most comfortable, going through 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Bringing your hands to heart center and letting your shoulders melt back behind you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I see the absolute light, the incredible amount of beauty, the stunning waves of handsomeness, and the love that you bring into this universe. Thank you very much for trusting me with your practice this beautiful Friday morning. I send you love and I send you light. Namaste. Now there's some days where I feel like the Oms and the Shantis are not needed, but today it definitely was.
might be a little bit weird and a little bit voodoo-y, or however you want to call it, different, but I hope that you guys enjoyed that gift. I wish you all the best for your Friday. I hope you all have a truly incredible weekend. Oh, and I'll see you in the gym on Monday. Much love, peeps. Till next time.